when you get your little kit, when you get your gelato colors, they come in a kit like this. It has a nice little tray so that you can see all of the colors in the kit. Now there are several kits, and I did do like a little color chart here, which I'll talk about in a minute. You can see here that it comes with two different types of sponges. One is like a soft, like a makeup sponge, and one is more dense, so it's nice for blending. You've got your different gelato colors and a paintbrush. All right, so let's set this aside. And the different kits, I wanted to show you that they come in these colors that really, some of them really pop on the black. So this is all the color kits. They come in pastels, brights, iridescence. There's an iridescence 2, metallics, and the translucents. Now, when you look and you play with the different colors, you can see how nice they pop on black. Now, this is just me going and adding a little bit of gelato color onto there. It's not blended at all, but let's talk about blending. And something that you want to remember with gelatos is that no matter what you do, you're going to have to blend it. So if I'm just adding some color, now gelatos are soft like a lipstick, so you don't want to push too hard, and there is so much pigment in here, you don't need a lot. I'm gonna go right across the page and use a couple of colors just so that you can see some very fun basics that you can do. Now I'm playing with the iridescence 2. And so I'm going with 2 different colors. And I just want to show you that because it is so soft and you have all this pigment on your page, you're gonna have to do something to it. So you can either wet it with a paintbrush and do it that way, or you can spread it with a sponge. Now let's try, we'll do the soft sponge. And so what I'm doing is I'm just blending that, right, into the page. I'm gonna go over here on the other side of it and do this darker color. And you can see how nicely it just blends onto the page. And then you can kind of blend those into each other. Now you can always add more. Like let's say I didn't want to have maybe these marks on here, so maybe I just go on top with a little bit more. And again, this is just with the soft sponge. And we're just gonna go right on top and blend that color in. So you can always add some more color, even though we've already blended it. Now once it's blended, you don't have anything coming off. So you just wanna make sure that you're blending, whether dry or wet, to make sure it's not gonna move. Now if we use the harder sponge, this is the one that's more dense. Same concept, it's just whatever you prefer. Flipping it to the other side for the other color. Same idea, so whatever you're comfortable with, or you can take your paintbrush. I'm just gonna wet that really quick. And I'm gonna spread the color this way. Either way, we're just remembering that we have to blend gelatos, because if we don't blend it, what's gonna happen is it's gonna keep rubbing off on other things. So once this is dry, it's not gonna move, but you can see here, like if I put my finger across it, you see that? It comes up. So you don't want it, especially if you're using art journals, you don't want to close your page and you did this beautiful design and it's all mushing together. So we definitely want to blend it. Now, there are other tools out there, like you can use these little daubers. These work really well for blending. This is just another shape of a dense form. A dense foam sponge works really well. Or there are art foams too. These are actually made for pastels, but that also works really well. So, or a makeup sponge or a baby wipe Let's try baby wipe. Baby wipe blends that right across. Look at that. So you just want to make sure gelatos, you have to blend it some way, some form. Now, sometimes with these darker colors, you can see, you'll get the texture of the paper. So this is the texture of the paper coming through. If you don't want to see that, what you can do is go straight from your gelato. So let's say I want to take this color. I can take, let's use the dense foam. I can take and go right across this way. And that way I get a more smooth color. Of course, I would have to have more on there. Or you can take a paper plate, scribble on that, and pick it up that way, and then go right onto your paper, okay? Same thing with if you want to use a wet paintbrush, and I try to scroll it down, right? Turn that down a little bit so I can get in here and paint with it. So if you're trying to think of what do I do with gelatos, anywhere where you use paint, markers, crayons, anywhere where you want to add color, you can use gelatos. They're non-toxic, they're water soluble, so easy cleanup, right? We could clean up with a baby wipe our hands, and we're good to go, and nothing's on our hands, and we can go on about our day, right? And if we drop it, what's really nice, they're in these little tubes, so if you drop it on the floor or something, you're not gonna spill any paint. Now, even though this is wet, I can still go right on top of my page and add some more color if I want to, which makes them very versatile. As well as you can add them if you're using mixed media products like texture paste or gel medium, you can scrape off some of that and use it that way, or even scrape some into a bottle and use it as a mist. So lots of very fun things, easy things that you can do with your gelatos. So you just have to think of them as this is just a different medium in an easy to go container, right? Because you could take these right out of here and put them in a little bag, put them in your purse, a little spray bottle and a little paintbrush, and you're good to go, right? So lots of different ways that you can do this. I'm gonna show you one more fun technique, but let me finish coloring my page here. So I'm just gonna kind of spread this color around, right? So I've got color everywhere. I'm just kind of blending. And let's add a little bit more of this. Oops, I forgot that I did it all the way down. And so we're just gonna go right across the page. And blend. While this is still wet, I think I'm gonna go in. Add a little bit of this blue here. And just play with that color. And so it's a really easy, just like I did there, you can layer. Let's add another color. And I'm just blending with this baby wipe. So the big trick is just to remember you must blend that color, right? Making sure that there is nothing on the page like this that's gonna smear or come off. This, once it's dry, actually even now, even wet, it's not coming off on my hands. But once it's dry, it's not gonna go anywhere. It looks beautiful. You can layer it and add darker, deeper tones of this same color. And what is also nice about gelatos is that the whole Faber-Castell line, whether you're using the pens or the gelatos you're going to find that the colors are the same, whether it's the pencils or the markers or the Pitt pens or the Gelatos, you're gonna find the same colors. So if you wanna match something up, you will be able to find that color in another medium. So that is the Gelatos. This one is the Iridescent 2 set. And I'm gonna show you really quickly one more time. This is the translucents, and let me show you there. So that's these are the colors on the bottom, the translucents. Here are the metallics, that up there. So these are the metallics on the white and the metallics on the black. You can see like that silver didn't really show up there. Sometimes depending on the color, like even with the translucents, they came out really nicely here, but not so much on the black, but that's okay because it just depends on what you're doing. Here is the, this is the iridescent. So that's here. And of course the white's not really gonna show up on here, and here it is over here. Here is the iridescent. I will tell you that when you have a color like a white, you can blend it with another color, which is really nice. And here are the brights. And you can see right here are the brights on the white, right here are the brights on the black. And this is what the kit looks like. And then the pastels. Here's it on the white, and here it is on the black. So there's a white in there too. Now your iridescents have this really beautiful sparkle to it, and so do the metallics. You can really see it here. I don't know if you can see it on the video for the iridescents here, but they do have this really beautiful little sparkle to them, a little like shimmer kind of thing going on. And so the metallics, the iridescents, all have that shimmer going on in there, and they look really pretty up close.
I know it's a little hard to see on the video, but I did want you to see with the background colors, the black and the white, how they look.
Now, I wanted to show you just one more technique, which is really just making an art page out of your background. I mean, as it is, you could use this as a background for your stamping or stenciling, whatever that you do. But I wanted to show you that it is really simple to just go ahead and make an art page on top of what you've already done. So let's get started.